Hey y'all. So I wanted to do a podcast, and it's going to be probably rando and quick. Let's hope it's quick, y'all. I can talk. But I wanted to kind of talk about, like, it's probably pretty simple, but I'm trying to like recenter in the middle of like some heavy energy going on in our world, right? If it's not the politics, it's the feeling that goods are hard to get, or so it's like scarcity issues to the increased price of goods. It's definitely gotten different remarkably, especially in the gas situation. And, that kind of just makes you wake up and you're like, ugh. You kind of feel it. Like, the world conflict issues that are going on. It's, like I said, to the political like situations, like you can kind of like get hit with it, even as much as I try to isolate myself from daily news. It's just a personal choice. I know as I was just trying to really just focus on my healing, my meditative practices, I got away from daily news. I rarely, even NPR, like I won't do that until it's like near an election cycle. And then I'll try to get myself at a certain balance point of keeping up to speed. But yeah, I don't on the daily. And so, but I still, even with that, like, I end up seeing things on social media that's, part of the news cycle, and you get hit, and that's kind of an energy that can kind of hit you and be with you and change your own vibes. So I felt that today. And as part of healing that, I went on a little run walk, and I thought, oh, you know what? I should probably share this. And it seems so simple, but I'm still going to share it because I'm humanizing the experience of feeling the oneness of the world, right? This law of oneness. If you subscribe to any of the universal laws, that's one of them, proposed ones. Think about it as you will. This is just an idea. But the law of oneness is that we are somehow energetically connected. And maybe we're connected even higher, like in terms of like in the soul level. Like, I don't know how that really is. Like when we're with God, like how one are we with God or source? Like I wonder how that existence really is and feels. The things that I ponder when I'm sober. Anyway, but like, I think that's why I feel a little depressed sometimes. Now, it could be just a personal energetic cycle or something like that hitting me too. But it just felt, because I knew I had seen on some social media things. I knew what I was kind of being hit with, and I knew it was kind of being in me, and in my mind, I kind of laugh at this because I'm calling myself a rational person, but when I see an issue that's not something I can control, it's not something I can immediately fix, I can't do anything of it, then I'm kind of like, okay, that's something I need to put in prayer, release, and be able to just kind of address it, think about it at a later time to be motivated on how to help that situation, on how to feasibly, like in real life, like, okay, well, how can I make that better on that issue that's bothering me? But at least once I've kind of had my emotional reaction, like okay, this is an issue I can solve today, or maybe not soon, but like, so it's going to pop up when I need to, when I can get more information on how to solve it. And I have to basically kind of like, okay, you're going to go over here in my mind to the section that's called, I care about you, but not right now. The timing's not great, but it will happen. They have long titles. I have not like nice long labels in my mind. And so then I need to clean my energy so that I can kind of have my day of balanced Susie energy. And that Susie energy is typically pretty optimistic. Like I'm a happy person. I'm a weirdo. I'm that weirdo that's probably on the Zoom calls that smiles all the time. Or I have that resting smile face. And I'll nod my head like I'm hearing a point. Like I'm that active listener. I don't understand another way of interacting. The frowny faces, I just don't get you guys. I'm sorry, I just don't get you, but God bless you. You're the ones I try to talk to crack a smile out of in a meeting. But anyway. But yeah, I got hit with that energy. I went on a walk, and it made me feel the oneness. And what came to my mind as I'm walking is just thoughts from my guides saying, that my energy matters, that me being happy and having all this hope and like really, I get really jazzed up about like life. Like I get really moments of like, oh my God, I fucking love life. So blessed where I'm at. Like, I'm just so blessed. And I'm not manic. I'm normal. I'm not normal, but I'm pretty even Steven, but I'm happy with pops of energy of happiness, and that's my resting point. And I think that's how I'm wired. But I naturally just kind of get to this. I see hope in every situation because I've lived where days from one to another can totally change and be beautiful. And like the thing that was like, I was so sad about day one, on day two, I wake up and it's resolved. And I think of those things more than I do of the shit situations. Like I rest and focus on those examples in my life where one day I was thinking I really want to move to the Pacific Northwest, and I'm so sad it hasn't happened yet, but I just need to keep my faith that it's going to happen. And the next day it was like, oh, job offer on something that I'd, submitted online a week ago. And it's like, oh, or another job offer from a friend who just like called out of nowhere. Like those things have happened in my life. Yeah, two of them. Like when I moved to Pacific, sorry, my memory's catching up with me. One was like submitted online a week ago, like when I wanted to move to Pacific Northwest. And like literally I remember getting that call and being like, to get an interview scheduled. And I thought, just yesterday, I thought it was hopeless for a moment. And like, I remember that. Like I remember how hopeless I was that day before. And little did I know that in that moment, like they were moving my resume to the top of the pile to be called back for an interview. And I got that job. I flew out there, had that interview, and got that fucking job. It was beautiful. And my other example, I always kind of keep this job focused because that's kind of like my Capricorn nature. Anyway, is when I was in a really stressful job. That job that I got was pretty stressful. It was a rocket docket, lots of litigation, lots of trials. Lots of trial schedules. So I was just constantly prepping for trial all the time. And it was fast paced, beautiful work, but fast paced. And, so here it was like, my health was out of order. I was so super kind of tired and depressed that I wasn't engaging with my family, and I knew it. And I was just like, oh, this is not where I want my life to be. And I was like, but I know I had done all this manifestation, like focus for 45 plus days. I was trying to test out, this whole spirituality thing. This is one of my little testing moments, what I had with God. I'm sure they love that. And like, I went from like such a sad moment. I remember leaving the office at 6, like almost wanting to cry on the way home and being like, I'm so frustrated, God. And then being like, I don't care. I know it's going to work out, but I just had to vent that. I just had to vent my tear. Like, I think I did cry. And then like the next day getting a phone call out of nowhere and getting this current job I have. So like those moments stay in my mind. And my encouragement to you is to think of those moments. So this is like a micro level, like of like happiness that I can kind of tune into and remember that things can happen quickly and they can happen for my best and highest good, right? But like, I feel that way even with the world stuff. Like if I still feel hope that things can change and that people can become loving and peaceful and we can be wise again, like that kind of stuff, like people can listen to their heart space and be, I don't know if I want to say ethical or what, but anyway, but you know what I mean? Like just this higher vibe that I can think that no matter what headline comes at me, I can think, okay, the world can still change for the better. Just like in those moments in my life with the job, like it can still change for the better with the world. And like things calm down. There's no conflict. I don't know, supply chain stuff gets figured out, prices settle down or wages go up. Either way, that things get resolved. Like I just think macro level, I kind of put that same optimism from my personal into the macro. And I just kind of shake it off. And I'm like, okay, God, I just had to like vent out my frustration or my fear or my my trigger or whatever that was, whatever I want to phrase it as. I think today it was like just being like depressed from hearing some things politically. But I'm like, okay, things can still get, things can still change. There's always hope. And I sound like a little political ad, but I don't mean to. But I do feel like there's something in that message of what we focus on is what we create, and we are like little co-creator magnets to the world or to God, right? So if I'm hopeful that this better thing is happening and like people are getting healed, people are getting, all the good stuff, like good things are happening. God, I feel like I'm just repetitive in how I'm talking today. Sorry, y'all. I feel like I'm just talking weird. But anyway, let's just roll with it. Like if I can think that it's everything's going to work out, like my energy can and the law of oneness can affect everybody. And I'm not talking about just like for me in my daily betterment or like for me to get some blessing. I mean and not just me and my family or my street or my city. I mean like the world. And then I was thinking about that. I was like, yeah, I think like our own little energy that we're having and emitting out there about what we expect from the world and changes can really make an impact. And if we stay hopeful and positive and high vibe, then we can expect that change to happen too. And I'm just going to have that hope. I know it's blind hope, and I'm just going to keep doing it. And it felt like, you have a pause to think, well, my energy, how can I affect the whole world? Like, don't be too ego queen, Susie. And it's like that came out during my walk. And I was like, oh my God, that's such an ego thing to quash this beauty of oneness that I'm trying to experience here for like a second. Because there's no ego with augmenting love and healing in the world, to think that we can affect the whole world, like as one person, that we can affect the entire universe, actually, that we can, like, freaking God can be up there and be like, I say up there, but that dimension can be in that dimension and be like, oh, I feel you. I feel you and your happiness. You just keep on, and it's like, why not believe that we're that strong? Why not believe that we have that kind of power? Like maybe we don't, because we don't think we do, we limit ourselves and the effects that we can have. So I'm like, fuck that. Take away the limited beliefs on how much you can heal the world, the universe, other worlds, heaven. Maybe heaven needs a little help. Maybe the angels need a little, I don't know, little help too. Like a little hype. Like maybe God needs a little hype. Maybe source energy itself is like, yo, please hype me up. Help me. Give me your good vibes too. I don't know. There's something about that. So that's really it. After that, I just kind of like focus on nature in my walk, and I just try not to even have thoughts. Just kind of let it be a passive healing of just noticing birds, noticing like anything non-manish, non-man-made, and or humankind made, and yeah, just enjoy the weather, and then come back. But I kind of had this like when I started, like, okay, I just need God, I'm here to kind of find my center again, get a little healed. And then it's like, oh man, I can kind of help reflect that to the world. It's not even just my healing. And that's beautiful that we can partake in that. And so that's it, y'all. That is the simple message of today, is like, I feel you if you're feeling down. And don't forget the times in your life when it had gone from shit to good. Focus on those. Don't think about the other way. Focus on those, because that's what the law of attraction, which you're going to magnetize toward yourself. We attract who we are, how we feel, that energy. So it's important to watch that and keep it positive. So that's it. I hope it helps. And and I hope it gives you some hope for the future, y'all. All right. Thanks for listening. Take care, y'all.